We talked about earlier as we move into the spring months, which is great. It's a chef's, you get kind of locked down with winter, a lot of root vegetables and things like that, and try to make your way through winter. And then the abundance of spring, everything coming to life, is kind of a time to celebrate. So we've been waiting. It's really funny too as we make the call to some of our farmers that things have been growing in the winter in Florida, but as we start to look at the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, up towards some of the middle of the states in the country, as the snow is melting, we're starting to see some of this thing. So we've been calling a new company that we've worked with for years and years. They're really one of the top companies in the country. Is called Fresh and Wild out of Washington. We've been making calls with them pretty much every day for the past week, trying to see when some of the stuff is we want to use. So this menu, we're using ramps, wild ramps from them, which is a really beautiful wild onion that you have about a 5 or 6 week grow season. Morel mushrooms that they cannot be cultivated or farmed. They have to be grown wild to the type of soil and the trees that's needed to grow them. So a lot of fun stuff. Also, we're seeing that the asparagus getting better. Winter's not an ideal an ideal season for halibut, so spring halibut, we put that on the menu. So some really interesting stuff. Some lacinato kale, just kind of lighten things up, and you'll see that in the pasta, the soup, and the pizza. So a small menu change. We'll start off with the soup first. Vichyssoise is a very classic cold French prepared soup. Classic Vichyssoise is potato and leek. For our take on it, instead of the leeks, we replace that with the ramps, the wild onions. They're in the same family. Instead of the potato in the soup, we made a little smashed Yukon potato salad that was on the side. So you get those two flavor components. But the predominant flavor in the soup is asparagus. As we move into spring, you can get asparagus in our country all year long, but we're even seeing them as we get them in every day, that they're getting better and better, more and more fresh. They're not having to go to South America. They're staying local. Asparagus is looking really great. We've done a lot of warm soup preparations for a while. Membership's been asking for a cold soup preparation. So again, we've gone with the asparagus Vichyssoise. Besides the smashed Yukon Gold potato salad on top, Chef Santos took a little bit of really nice fermented black garlic, which is great for health properties. In Asia they've been doing it for many years. We took some of the black garlic, pureed it, and mixed it with some really nice mustard seeds, and that acidity and that little bit of spiciness kind of really makes the potato salad pop. So that's the soup. Pizza, again, I mentioned we're using some of the lacinato or Tuscan kale that's locally grown for us from our friends at 12 Seasons Farms. So we just toss that in a little bit of Italian olive oil, some fresh mozzarella. Most of our pizzas use either see a dry mozzarella or fresh mozzarella. The fresh mozzarella is a little bit more it's less dry. It's more water components to it, a little more moisture, so you can see the little dobs of fresh mozzarella. And then the sausage is a really interesting sausage that comes in a tube. It's kind of pasty. It's from the region of Calabria, which uses a lot of chilies in it. So when you taste the pizza, you'll taste the spice, and that is called Nduja, N-D-U-J-A. We got it mixed up. This week we tried to order it. They kept sending us Nduja sausage, the southern sausage that we've been using for our soup. So we've been sending it back, and it's Nduja, not Nduja. Very different. They kind of sound the same. So again, we take that sausage. It's got great heat to it, really nice porky flavor, a little bit of the mozzarella, the kale, the marinara. Bake it in our pizza oven. And then to finish it, just a little bit of Romano cheese, and then last but not least is fennel pollen. You think of fennel and pork are two synonymous flavors together for the longest time. But instead of fennel seed, which we use, or even shaved raw fennel, we use some fennel pollen, which is the little flowers on the top of fennel. It's a little more floral and a little bit more palatable, opposed to a fennel seed that's kind of toothy. Thank you so much. We'll go over next the chicken and waffles. We were just talking about it. Interesting enough, a lot of dishes where you think where they originate from. We laughed that Caesar salad does not come from Italy. It actually was originated 60 years ago from Tijuana, Mexico. Chicken and waffle seems very, very southern with the fried chicken, the spiciness, all that actually comes from a restaurant group or small restaurant group in Harlem, New York. This waffle batter is different. Our last waffle was a very Belgium style waffle. It's a yeast batter, also with rock sugar in it. So our old waffle was a little bit toothier from the yeast, almost like a bread dough, and the rock salt, we took that out. This is creating a lot fluffier waffle. Reason being, you talk about textures and flavors that contrast. You have the crispiness of the chicken, right? Kind of the cracking skin of the chicken, and then you want a softer waffle. You don't want two toothy things on top of each other. So again, a very fluffy waffle, powdered sugar. Chef Fabio made a really awesome maple cayenne maple butter that's hidden underneath. It's got a little bit of heat, a little bit sweet, a little bit buttery. As you cut into it, you'll get to that. And then our fried chicken is the same one that's become very popular at night. This one is just dark meat. All right, so it'd be good to tell membership it is chicken thighs. We think that adds a little bit more juiciness to it. It is a 2-day process. We bring in pasture-raised chicken, brine it for a day, right, to make it really moist, in a salt and sugar brine. Soak them for another day in buttermilk, and then dredge them in seasoned flour. We actually do a double dip where it goes buttermilk flour to get that extra layer of crispiness, fry them crispy, and then that goes on the waffle with the syrup on the side. We can do it without the chicken. We'll just do a double batch. We'll maybe do two waffles, so we're not monkeying with the price. We'll just give them a nice big stack of waffles. If somebody wants extra butter, extra syrup, we can definitely do that. Okay, any questions thus far? Good. Keep on circling clockwise. Again, still concentrating on spring, lighter flavors. Underneath, so it's a 3-cheese ravioli that we have. The predominant cheese in is ricotta. As you taste it, it's very creamy, soft interior. It's kind of actually, ricotta's a little bit neutral flavor because there's some other great flavors in the dish. Underneath, we're starting to see even our corn is better. Our corn's getting sweeter as we're moving closer to summer and away from winter, but a little bit of corn puree underneath. It's got a great corn flavor. The ravioli sits on top of that. Just finish with a little bit of pecorino cheese, some breadcrumbs, and then some really, really wonderful Alaskan king crab that we have. At night, we're gonna do 4 ounces of king crab. For lunch, this is 3 ounces. For lunch, we have 5 ravioli. At night will be 6 ravioli, and then our smaller preemie portion for dinner will be 4 ravioli. So we have a couple different sizes. The preemie they like to have as an app. Lunch, obviously, they like to eat a little bit less, and then dinner a little larger. Also, to finish it, we have, again, 12 Seasons Farms has these beautiful organic cherry tomatoes. It's just a little cherry tomato and basil salad, very, very simple. Some basil oil, and then a little bit of chili oil. Okay, it's nice. I think you'll like it. We can do it without the crab. There is a price in the computer because the price is a little high. Crab is insanely expensive. We're paying after it's cleaned at $75 a pound, so nearly twice as expensive as our Wagyu beef. That's just how insane things are right now. So, vegetarians, this is a great pasta to have for somebody that doesn't want fish or meat. We can just omit the crab. I think David and I put it in there at dinner for $26, okay, versus the 46 at night. Quite a big drop. We've done a lot of, the past couple years, we've done a lot of juices, green juice, immunity juice. One of our awesome H2B interns, H2B Visa guys, teammates that's been with us for a while. Just made this the other day. This is kind of how our menu development works sometimes. He made this for the staff in the kitchen, handed us a glass of it. We took a sip and we're like, oh, that's gonna go on the menu. So we thought it was really, really good. So again, not a juice, a smoothie. We're calling it super smoothie. We have the base of it is coconut milk. So it is vegan. So coconut milk. We brought in some protein powder. Not all protein powders are made the same. We spent extra money to get one that's organic, one that's vegan, really the top of the line protein powder. It's good to tell people that. Also, there's some ripe banana, mango, spinach, and then the sweetener in it is elderflower syrup from Austria. Think of it as a simple syrup that's kind of floral, almost has a simple syrup with a flower-like aroma to it. Okay, and that's from Austria. So again, a lot of people put sugar in everything, right? We're talking about granulated. Some of these refined granulated sugars just aren't that good. People are steering away from that. So people may ask you, "Oh, it's kind of sweet. What is that?" So we do over-ripen. Chef Brad, the pastry chef, over-ripens the bananas a little bit, which we like. And then there's continue to be sweetened with the elderflower syrup. I'm gonna pass the floor over to Chef Donald's got a great special for you today that he can run you through.
Sure, of course. Not the first time here, not the first special. Hey there, guys, how you doing? First we got ginger black rice here with a stir-fried vegetable, pansir the snapper, and a mango citrus sauce right on top.
Looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Right. Any other menu questions? Anything?